What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to the MKO Pugilism Boxing channel where we talk all things boxing. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, put it on all so you get notified as soon as we drop new content on the channel. Without further ado, let's get into this one. So, as many boxing fans will know, this weekend we got some good. We've got the Undisputed lightweight title on the line in Australia. This is going to be taking place in the Marvel Arena. And from what I understand, the Marvel Arena is a big 50,000 seater. So there's going to be a big, 50,000 crowd in there to cheer on probably mainly George Kambosos Jr. He's got a big fan base, big Greek fan base, big Australian fan base, and he's going to be taking on Devin the Dream Haney. This is going to be taking place on a Sunday. I think it'll be Sunday morning in Australia and probably Sunday night for us here in England, and then Saturday night for whatever the time difference is. I know it's a big old time difference between us and them, and between the US and them is even further behind. So the time is going to be crazy, whatever it is. But anyway, yeah. So they had the press conference for this one. Interesting. Not much fireworks in there. You could tell Kambosos was playing a few mind games. He was calling Devin Haney a snitch, saying that Devin Haney was telling all of Teofimo Lopez's business to him, to Kambosos. When they were in the lead up to their fight, he was calling Devin Haney a rat, and he said I don't know that they let rats in this country, and blah blah blah. And yeah, you could tell that Kambosos was on his mind games, trying to sort of get into the head of Devin Haney. And Haney, for his part, for the most part, he was just calm, just pretty chilled out. He had Kambosos talking about, yeah, you know what? All the government official listening to this, get his dad over here, get Bill Haney over here, let the man in this country. And the Haney was like, nah, boy, you better stop it, stop pretending, rare. So it was a bit of back and forth. Haney was calling Kambosos an actor and saying, you didn't bring the belts here. Kambosos was like, yeah, I didn't bring the belts because you don't deserve to see them. They were here in the initial conference. You weren't here. You didn't turn up, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, they had their little back and forth. Nothing too dramatic. Long face-off as they normally do. Both guys talking smack. The American people, the Aussies, and, so it wasn't nothing too crazy at the press conference. But yeah, this fight is gonna be, yeah, it's an interesting one because going into it now, you've got a rematch clause in favor of George Kambosos Jr. And that definitely puts, for me at least, that kind of puts a spanner in the work for Devin the Dream Haney, because I think this is going to be a tough fight regardless. It's a tough fight. It's closely matched. Although the bookies do sort of favor Devin Haney, but I think this is going to be a tough enough fight anyway to come over to Australia and win. But for Devin Haney now, he's basically got to, even if he does pull off the win, he's got to do it all again. And I reckon that will be in Australia again. I don't know if they could negotiate it to get it out of Australia or in America or whatever, but yeah, this is definitely that definitely puts I would say a bit of extra pressure on Devin Haney because there is that rematch clause in place. And as far as sort of picking a winner, I think Devin Haney is the better boxer overall. He's the better all-rounder. Not the hardest of hitters, but he's the more skilled boxer. And that's not to say Kambosos isn't any good or he's a poor fighter or whatever, but just all round, I think Devin Haney's just that bit more skilled. He's just that bit technically better, where I think he can sort of outbox George Kambosos. However, I think he will have to do it in a very clear fashion. He will have to win the rounds very clearly and very cleanly. And ideally, he's going to have to try and put it on George Kambosos a bit. He's going to have to try and sort of hurt him or something, because I think obviously you're over there, you're in somebody else's backyard, in somebody else's country. So you've really got to impress the judges. I think it will be close though, no matter who wins it. But I just slightly kind of agree with the bookies there, that I think Devin Haney can pull this off. But the question is, can he pull it off twice? Because that's a question that he is going to have to answer, possibly if he does win this. So for me, slight edge to Devin Haney, but at the same time, because of how George Kambosos has improved and how he performed against Lopez, and I've really seen great improvement in him. So at the same time, it's really a 50-50 fight here. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't be surprised at all if George Kambosos Jr. Held on to his titles, because as they say sometimes in football, they say the crowd is like the 12th man, and the same in boxing, that the crowd can really lift you. So wouldn't surprise me, but I think Haney's definitely got the tools to do the job. But anyway, let me know what you think happens in this fight. Who are you picking? You're picking Haney, you're picking George Kambosos Jr. Do you think Haney can do it twice, can beat Kambosos Jr. to come back to Australia, or however they negotiate it, and beat this man twice? Let me know what you think about this fight, what you thought about the press conference. And until next time, it's MKO Pugilism, over and out.